Thing that my mother did say to me before I headed out was, don't fall in love. If I arrived in July, I met him in October. When I got to Spain, of course, is when I really learned how to speak Spanish. Yes, they are bilingual, and actually they're trilingual. My husband's mother is actually French. It got me a visa for the full year, it got me health insurance for the full year, and, you know, a small salary to survive on. I thought I would sit down and chat with you guys a little bit about just who I am, where I'm from, all of the basic information, just kind of introducing myself. And I have a bunch of, well, not too many questions, just to get things started. So the first question that I have is, when did you go to Spain and why? I came to Spain in 2006, although technically I did come to Spain as an undergraduate, my second year of college. Undeclared major, which I went to UW Eau Claire, had a student exchange with Valladolid, a great semester here. That gave me enough credits to become a Spanish major. That meant that when I graduated from college, I was like, what the heck do I do with my Spanish major, teaching English as a foreign language minor? And there was a grant that I found out, I think from one of my professors actually. It was to come to Spain for a full academic year. I think it was 10 hours in the classroom helping teachers. It got me a visa for the full year. It got me health insurance for the full year and, you know, a small salary to survive on. So that's when I came over to Spain, kind of as a, you know, a young adult with my diploma in hand. That was the fast, easiest solution for me. And I was a young, fresh out of college and wanted to get some traveling in before I settled down. The one thing that my mother did say to me before I headed out was, don't fall in love. I met my now husband, if I arrived in July, I met him in October and we started dating right away. Next question, did you study Spanish? And yes, I studied Spanish all throughout high school, and then in my Spanish degree, obviously, I had a lot of Spanish classes as well. Although I will say that when I got to Spain, of course, is when I really learned how to speak Spanish. Do you have a partner/kids? Yes, I have a partner. His name is Beltran. I talk about him quite a bit, and I have 3 daughters. The next question I have is, do your kids speak Spanish and English? Are they bilingual? Yes, they are bilingual, and actually they're trilingual because my husband's mother is actually French. My partner speaks to our daughters in French while we're home. I speak to them in English. Of course, they learn Spanish just being around here. And actually in a future video, I definitely want to talk about that, kind of like that process, having 3 languages in a household. Very interesting to me. What does your day-to-day look like is the next question that I have. For sure, the schedule is shifted a little bit. Of course, I'm talking in general terms here, right? Like, this is just my experience as an American and also my experience as an American living in Spain. So please take everything I say with a grain of salt. But my experience, I would say that in the United States, people generally wake up earlier and go to bed earlier, whereas in Spain, people wake up later and go to bed later. My day starts probably around 6 o'clock. This is during the school year. I get up and I make lunch, and then I get ready. I help my girls get ready for school, and I head off to work. I get home, it depends on the day, depends on my schedule, but I get home probably between 3 and 4. Sometimes my daughters have eaten lunch and sometimes they haven't, and so we have lunch, the lunch that I prepared obviously in the morning. In the afternoon we have extracurricular activities. Then dinner happens around actually 8 p.m. Someday I will talk about the food schedule as well. Dinner happens more or less around 8 p.m. Girls go to bed at 9. That means that we have about an hour and a half to just relax and just to be with my partner and read or look at our phones or whatever we want to do, and then head to bed to start all over the next day. 10:30 is definitely early for a Spanish person. Most people go to bed later than that. That's just our personal choice. The next question, what's your job? My job, I am an English teacher. I'm actually in the public school system, which is quite a big process actually. I teach English to kids. The youngest kids at the school are 12-ish, and it goes all the way up until 18. So kind of a mix of middle school and high school if you're talking about the American system. I am also what I would loosely translate as a dean. half of my time in the classroom and then half of my time in the dean's office. I'm really busy at my school. I only just became a dean last year for the first time and realized that I actually really like to be in a position where like my value is not just that I'm a native English speaker. You know, I'm also valued as a leader or as a coordinator or as a communicator. That was a really interesting, different change for me last year that definitely keeps me on my toes. All right, next question. What's the best/worst part of living in Spain? Quality of life. And the worst part of living in Spain is definitely just being far away from my family. In the United States, I have a great family, and in the US, and we get back there as often as we can to be with them, but that's definitely the hardest part of being here. Although I also have to say that I have fantastic in-laws, and Beltran's family is wonderful. Thank goodness. I cannot even imagine trying to live abroad in a situation where I wasn't so pleased like with a life that we've built for ourselves. All right, next one. Where do you live? We live in, Spain, and then I know this word better in Spanish than in English. Anyway, Castilla y León, and then within Castilla y León, we live in the capital city of Valladolid, so Valladolid. And we actually don't live in the city of Valladolid. We live in a little village about like 6 kilometers outside of Valladolid. I don't remember how to translate kilometers into miles. The next question is, where are you from? I am from the Midwest. In fact, the outfit that I'm wearing today, I feel like I am representing the Midwest really well. Maybe I'm wrong. Specifically from the state of Wisconsin. What do you miss the most? I assume this is from the US. Okay, aside from my family, which of course is the #1 thing that I miss the most, I would have to say American breakfasts. Going out to breakfast and ordering like a skillet. That is one of the things that I look forward to the most, for sure. Do I have Spanish nationality? No, I do not have Spanish nationality. Although my daughters do. They have double nationality. They are Spanish. They have Spanish passports as well as American passports. Was it hard to get a job in Spain? This could be a whole video in itself. Perhaps I will do this sometime. As a native English speaker, no, not hard to find a job in Spain. However, what it comes down to is either starting up an academy, working at an academy, or doing private tutoring lessons teaching English. I do know quite a few Americans living here in Spain. There's only one woman that comes to mind, has her own company based in the United States, I believe, and the rest of us are all teaching English. I can't help but wonder if you guys have any other questions for me about just basic information or really just living in Spain. Please, if you found this interesting or fun to watch at all, like, subscribe, all of those good things. If you have any questions, please write them in the comments below and I will make a new list, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Have a great day.